Hi, everybody. How you doing? Hello. Yeah, hi, my people. I want to tell you, I'm late. This point, you should be happy when you see me live. At this point, you should be happy when I come live. Okay, guys. Welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee. My name is Felicia. I'm your host. I had to take care of some personal matters. So I'm here late tonight, very, very late. But y'all know I'm mama's first, wife first, student second, and all of the above, okay? Okay. So, yeah, hello, you're welcome. Happy Thanksgiving in advance. Life. My people, yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, you're playing, you're hi. Oh, Richmond's on here. That's what's up. So I like Richmond on here.
What's
Richmond
going
be
on?
coming on. You don't be leaving me hanging. Yeah, for real. You be coming on, and I'm happy for that. The rest of them be leaving me hanging.
No kidding.
They be leaving your girl hanging.
As
Um,
well.
I'm gonna spare you the whole story, but tonight was the night. Okay.
I know, I
I
saw your
see.
message. The kids drove you nuts, huh?
I see yours are still up to.
One of them is, the other one slept off already. Because she accidentally went and sprayed that mouth spray in her eyes. Mm-hmm.
They
So I
won't
said
sit
that.
down. They're always everywhere. Like,
She went and picked it up because I put it on my dresser. She went and picked it up, trying to spray it into her mouth, and ended up getting it into her eyes. So she was crying for a while, and that was how she slept off. But this other one, that one, it's gonna take him a while before he sleeps off.
all those boys and their energy.
No kidding.
They have energy. So tonight, the energy is gonna be a little hot because we're talking about something that's kind of like, I guess we're not to that level yet with the whole parenting where our kids are online. So we'll see. Let me
Well,
pin
the
the
other
link in
one
the
is the
comment
most.
section real quick. Yeah, let me pin the link in the comment section for whoever may want to join. You're welcome to join. But tonight we're talking about parenting, like children. Um, oh, what is that? I'm late to the party. So late to the party, but we here. We made it. All right. So let's talk about it. Sorry. Let me pull these things up. Where's my note? So welcome back, everybody. This week is Thanksgiving week, and it's going to be on and popping with the cooking, the food, the eating. You guys, I've been doing so great with losing weight. Um, I think I've lost like what, 12 or 13 pounds in just about a month.
They're gonna gain it back on Thursday. Mm.
No, I am
That's what they say.
pleading the fifth. I am going to pray hard. I'm
Good
only
luck
gonna
with
eat
that
the
one.
healthy things.
Uh-huh.
Healthy.
If you got family there, be rest assured they're gonna gain it back.
And that's why I've been trying not to cook a whole lot, but people still make me cook in this house. Like, why
Yeah.
can't we all just eat salad and call it a day? That do it
Because
for
that's
me.
not, it doesn't work that way. If you have family over, it's definitely not gonna work that way.
Just do it for me. Just do it for me.
It
And
doesn't
you
work.
know what? I'm cooking and all. I'm gonna be cooking. We're traveling out on Thursday, so but we're coming back the same day anyways. It's just right here in Delaware. But yeah,
So,
welcome back to the show. Happy Thanksgiving in advance. As we wind down to the year, I want us to not just be thankful, but let's think about everything that's happened throughout the year. I will tell you, I felt like a few years ago was my testing year, but mid-year of this year was definitely the most testing year of my life, to say the least. Like it has been bananas. I feel like I'm just starting to regroup and get myself, back together. Not fully, but like I'm somewhat me. And I feel like that's what really contributed to me, like just eating and starting to gain a lot of weight. And then like just put my frustration on, let me go cook something. Let me do this, let me do that to just like kind of avoid everything. But thank goodness, thank God that, we're here. So we're thankful. If you look at our thing, it said Happy Thanksgiving. So we're already in the vibe. We're in the vibe. We're in the vibe. Okay. But tonight I wanted us to switch gears a little bit. Last night we talked about hygiene. It looks like this we were all about the family matters, the people matters. So we're talking about children's behavior, like school age children behavior on the internet. Like when I hear things that school age children are doing online, I'm sorry, but the only thing I can think about, where's the parent? Like who's parenting this child and what is happening? Why is nobody around? Why are they not being monitored? Why is your internet even wide open with the little children online? Why not like restrict it? And I get it, there are some things you can't really control because they're gonna go to school and they'll learn it, but there are some things that you can't control, like having access to the internet at midnight. Like what are you doing? Why are you even the parent? I know I'm judging already. You should know where I'm going with this. So welcome to the show. Last time we talked about body hygiene. If you did not watch it last night, you're missing out. You better go watch it because the real truth was out there last night. You know, I heard a lady online made a comment one time. She was like, "Those of us who has big behind, it's hard for us to clean it and get all this stuff." I'm like, lady, you lie. Talk for yourself. Because what do you mean it's hard to clean it? She's like, excuse me, this is gonna sound nasty. She's like, feces can't stop being in there. There's always feces in there. I'm like, ew, you're nasty. I'm thinking like, how do you even smell if you're saying that? I don't smell that way. I mean, I have all the access like her, like big, but I'm like, I can show you how to properly clean.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but the things people say on the internet without any precaution is just like, what? Yeah, like. But tonight, I want us to think about this topic. Should parents be punished for their school-age children online behavior? Welcome back. So we're diving into this story or this topic. Let's just say your children are, doing cyberbullying, online threads, and digital drama, happening everywhere. Like, who do we blame when all these things are happening? Who do we go to? Who do we say, yeah? Should we blame the child? Because again, they're children, right? Their thinking is not up to that level, in my
Depends on the
opinion.
age.
Yeah, should it be? So, for the sake of this argument, we're going to focus on 12-year-olds. We'll focus on 12-year-olds. So, should parents, the school, or the internet as a whole, should we say that's their fault? With that being said, welcome to Let's Talk with Miss Fee tonight. We're talking about cyberbullying, bullying, and internet behavior, and who should we blame for it? Hopefully, we can knock this out in about 45 minutes or 30 if we can, and call it a night. I'm not a fan being here all night these days.
Right.
All
Okay.
right.
Well,
Say hi to the people. First, I want us to talk about, let's set the page. What's happening online, right? Kids today are living online. So I was on TikTok the other day on somebody's live, and they were talking about something very interesting. I can't really remember. This has been like 2 to 3 weeks ago. And the guy was saying that whenever he's online, there's these children, they will be online, they will join his live and disrupt it. It's like 1 a.m. and they're online. Like, they're like, dude, we're 12 years old. Dude, we're 11. Like, just a group of kids. Like, they would just join, and then they would report his page when he tried to tell them, y'all need to go to bed. You don't need, they'd be like, you're not our parents. So I'm just thinking, like, what is going on? Are parents not home? Like, there should be always one parent available when children are home, in my opinion. But hey, who am I to judge? Who am I? You know, they're living online, they're making friendship, they're fighting, mistakes, all the digital things are happening. And with that comes with what? Cyberbullying, harassment, fake pages, thread group chats, anonymous accounts, just you name it. A lot of things are happening. And just to add to this, right? Before you come on in, Richmond, where we start this argument with, you know, should parent control the devices and Wi-Fi? I would think they will, because when I was little, I mean, not much little, but I remember before I accessed the internet, there was always a beep. And when we had those landline, I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember the landline? Like, when you're dialing someone, let's just say you're in the living room and the phone that's there, you're calling, there's a phone always in your parents' room, and that call can be connected from that other line, and they're listening on to see what you're talking about. So
yep.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, now parents have, like, I even remember when I had a cell phone, my very first cell phone before it got taken away from me. When I had it, there was a way to control, like, from the service area, you could control what type of communication that phone can have. I mean, my kids are very, very little. I haven't even started diving into that, but I've been thinking about it. I don't think my kids will have a phone. If safety is the issue, then we'll figure out. I'm pretty sure something else will come up, but my kids are not getting a phone. They're going to purchase their own phone when they hit 18. That's like, just, I guess I'm being tough. Maybe my husband won't agree because he's the softer one when it comes to a lot of things. But I just don't think they should have a phone when they're 12 years old. And because, why do you need a phone? I'm going to be picking you up, and maybe there's a thing, a button thing. I saw something that you don't have to use the internet. You can still contact your family, and your parents can track where you're at if safety issue is a problem. But that's just me thinking. But the last thing I want to add, so I saw a video online which like that really bothered me mentally, physically, emotionally. It bothered me so much that I was like, yeah, we probably should talk about this topic. I saw a 9-year-old girl being taken into custody to go to jail for murder and being charged as an adult. That that's a serious issue. Like, God forbid, if I was a parent, I would not live with myself for my 9-year-old. God forbid. But yeah, let's hear from you. So, um, I'm still even disturbed hearing about it. So, should parents control the devices? Like, if you give them tools, like if you give your kids cell phones or they have access to the internet or a monitor at home or TV or things like that, do you think it should be a law or requirement that parents should have control over all of those? What do you think? Let's hear your take.
Good evening, everyone. So, my name is Richmond. So, like we always say, disclaimer,
I know, I
everything
always
spoken
forget that.
here is going to be our personal opinion. So, it's either you like it or you don't like it. Sometimes the truth can be very painful and bitter, but it's life. You got to hear it somewhere. So, in regards to the conversation pertaining to parents being punished as a result of behavior from their kids, focusing on age 18, age 12, well, I would say yes. The sole reason why I say yes is one, yes, technology is out there, but at the same time, we as parents should be very, very careful to pay attention to every single thing our children are doing. Because when they do something, remember, everything a child does before the age of 18, they are considered as minors and juveniles. So as a result, we, the parents, get the blame for it. Sometimes if the children do something that is very, very bad, the parents end up getting in trouble for it and they end up going to jail for negligence and stupidity. So if a 12-year-old pretty much is out there in the middle of the night, still on the phone at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., then for sure, the parents really need some whooping because that is dumb and stupid. Your child shouldn't be on there at that time. If you're going to bed, you have a room for a reason. You are the parent, you have a room for a reason. And I know fully well your room should have a lock on it. You can very much take the phone as soon as it hits 12, as soon as it hits 9 o'clock, sorry, you should already tell the kids to bring their phones, place it in your room. That way you control. Or if not, I know fully well that services currently has parental controls on it because I myself, if I go into the account for my phone service, I can practically see everybody's phone and I can restrict certain things. So I know fully well that that feature is there. Because if you train your child up in the right way and you make it possible for your children to talk to you, it would open up for you to be able to at least ensure that everything goes right. Cyberbullying is very, very big. And nowadays, kids as even young as 7, 8 o'clock are already doing a lot of dumb things on the internet. Why?
Mhm.
Because their parents neglect them. Because their parents are not taking the responsibility to parent them the right way and let them know that, hey, this is wrong, don't do it. Instead, even society itself, even the United States of America has made it possible now that if you touch your child, if you discipline your child, you end up getting in trouble for child abuse, which is dumb and
There's
stupid.
stipulation with that, though. There's stipulation with that.
Which kind of stipulation? The same, which stipulation that if you touch the child, they will consider you as this thing. You end up getting in trouble, and then they will start talking about DHS and this and that. Go and try
No,
that nonsense in Africa
if
and
you
see if
heard
they will not
them,
beat. Huh?
if you heard them, if you leave, I mean, I kind of like
Yeah.
for
If you
that.
live
I don't
in
think you
Africa, is
should.
it not still the same whipping? When you go to school,
No,
don't they whoop your behind? That red mark that they show there, and then they take red hot red oil pepper, and they put it there. It will ring
that's
in your
abuse.
head. It's
That's
what?
abuse. That's
Abuse,
abuse.
okay. Yeah, but yet
So,
when you look
so,
at
so
it now,
here's
are the
my
kids not
question.
responsible? The kids in
That's
Africa are
abuse.
responsible, and the ones here. Look at the ones that are here. What are they doing? Majority of them are ending up in jail. Why? But the ones
We're
that
going
they've
to talk
beaten,
about that. We're going to have that conversation on it because I think that's an abuse. The reason I think that, I don't mean to cut you up, but I think it's abuse. So you whipping someone and they have a bruise and taking something and putting it on it to pain them even more. Like, what is the lesson in learning that? Like, what are you learning from that?
the lesson is basically a reminder. It's the same way, right? If there is hot water that is
Mhm.
being boiled, right? And then you stick your hands inside that hot water, it will burn you, Abby.
Bridgman, we're gonna have
It
this
will
topic
burn
at
you,
another
Abby.
time.
And then by
It
the
will.
time when you see that hot water, would you want to stick your hand into the same thing that burnt you before? No. So
Oh
it's
man.
life. It will basically be like a reminder in your head that you shouldn't do it. It's
It
just
will
normal.
burn you.
Sure,
I
some
mean,
parents.
the only thing that I think you will remember is the trauma, not remembering the issue that you made, that you did. Because the whole goal is, and I think we had this conversation on here, but we didn't really go in depth of it, right? The goal
Mhm.
of discipline is to train up that child in a way that even when you're not there, they
Mhm.
remember, right? So all you do is when you do that, you're just associating pain with the situation. You're not really getting to the depth of it. So that's why I think you can, the law doesn't prohibit you from disciplining your child. You can, but don't hurt them. Don't beat them. Don't leave bruises on them.
How would you
Because
go about disciplining a child that the child is not gonna get
you
bruised?
can
There's gonna
spank
be
them without leaving bruises on them.
you can do
Yeah.
what?
You can spank your kids without leaving bruises
Oh
on them.
really? And you do
Yes.
know now that the society has made it possible that a child can literally call the police on you, right? So
Yeah.
you
And if
can
the police
exactly.
comes, you can call that. So I'm telling you this because I have a little cousin that when she first came to the US, you guys were kind of off topic a little bit, but it's necessary for this argument. So I have a little cousin that came, and I remember she did something and she got spanked, and there was no bruises or whatsoever. So I think because you heard you can't be a kid, blah blah blah, and I feel like people just are misinformed. They're not very informed about the discipline, like the rules with that. The whole issue is don't abuse, and it becomes abuse like the example you give. When the police officer came and she said, "Yeah, I got spanked," and the police officer questions were, "Are you bruised? Where are the bruises? Show me where you're hurt." Okay, you can be disciplined. The problem is it becomes abuse when you're angry and you act out of character, because when you're angry at that moment, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm doing this to discipline you so you can understand not to do it. You're doing it out of anger because one, that makes you upset, and all you want to do is get your frustration and everything out, and it's not for the sole purpose of teaching and correcting.
My dear, the
I know
police
a
that
lot of
came,
people
was it
a lot of
white or
people
black?
always call me,
Was
you're too
was the
American
police
and
white
all
or black?
that.
Was the police white or black?
Huh?
Was the police white or black?
There was two officers, black and white.
Black and white. And yet, the black was the one that then asked the question, Abby.
Both of them. They were both
Okay.
doing the investigation.
Oh,
Because if you call
please.
child service, it's not one person coming. They report it
If,
now. Let me
if
give
it
you
was the
another
white cop by
example.
himself, you rest assured the white cop wouldn't even
Let,
ask questions too much. And
let
if you
me
do
give
that
you
to a white
another
guy, it turns out
example.
to be something else.
Let me give
So
you
you should
another
know fully well that
example.
whether you like it or not, the color of the skin also affects how the police will take it. If it's a white child that came to, then you tell me how exactly that's going to fly. You think this thing? America, they've given us so much privilege. So whether you like it or not, at the end of the day, look at Oyibo parents versus African parents. If you look at African parents, for sure, their child's phone will never be out
I
there. The child will not
disagree.
even try that nonsense.
Not these days. I
Well,
disagree. Plenty of them.
Our fellow
Hmm.
African mother and father that grew up in Africa, they
Hmm.
will keep that culture, not these
Hmm.
ones that grew up here in America and doing all this their nonsense behavior.
Freshmen is not all of them. I'm telling you real life stories. There are people who grew up in Africa, came here. They are here because of the whole, like I said, people are misinformed. The whole idea of you can't punish your children, you can't discipline them. I mean, you can't spank them. You can't spank them. You just cannot do it where there's bruises. There's because guess what? When the child go to school and they come with a black eye, that's abuse.
No, of course that one is abuse now. Black eye, like come on now.
Yeah. Or there's a cut in the skin.
The
Basically, the
bruise will
law
be
just
under
tell
their clothes.
there
The
should be no
bruise will
cut
be under
on
their clothes, not visible.
even if there's a
I
cut
mean,
in the child. Because you know these children they talk these days, right? The
of
kid
course
will
it
say,
does.
I'm not feeling well. I'm in pain. My arms hurt. Why does your arms hurt? They're a school guidance counselor. There are mandated reporters. So they have to report. Like for me, I'm a mandate reporter. So
So am
if
I.
I, yeah, like I have to report if I see it. So like it's not that you're trying to get someone in trouble because truly, right? Let's just say it was just by accident, you were upset and you slapped someone and then it fell, right? But some people are actually really abusing children and they're like torturing them and just doing things to them that is not ethical. So that's what that rules is there. It's not there to tell parents that you can't discipline your kids. Yes, you can beat them, whip them under their feet, whip the butt. But when you start going all over, because you know the skin, certain part of your body do not withstand anything. And I assume even if you use your hand, like my son, he bruised really fast. Like literally, even if you hold his hand tight, there's a mark. So things like that, you have to come up with strategy. What do you do? Like if he does something, he does get spanked. Not because his skin get bruised easily, but guess what? Give me your hand. Show me your hand. I'm not going to spank you in a way where it's like, oh, I'm angry. I'm spanking you to get you to understand this thing. You're not doing it anymore. But you boop, then you bring the pepper water, doop, you put it there. Some of us got spanked to
The
the point where our
pepper
eyes.
water is just that's an African thing. That's in Africa. They don't do it here in America.
Oh, some people be doing this on the low.
Nah, they don't do that over here. Because that
All
one
right,
is.
but let's go back. Let's go back.
But at the
Let's
end of
go
it,
back.
like I said, the phone thing. By 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
parents are supposed to have already taken their phones. But in the society that we live in now,
Mhm.
because mommy and daddies are so engraved into their work that
Yeah.
they just bypass even caring, they just let the child take their phones and do whatever. That's when it leads to all that nonsense. And also, parents should know fully well that because there is in that app, I know fully well that in the phones, you can easily, from your service line, you can shut off the service line and prevent it from continuing at a certain time. So it's common
So
sense. That's the reason why the
Google
parents
has
need to
a
be
family
punished because
app.
is that way?
Google has a family app
Exactly.
that you can control everything from every email,
There you
literally
go.
like
So that's the reason
everything.
why the parents need to be punished because they are the ones that are pretty much not doing their parental duties that is leading to that nonsense. Just like
So
now, that child that you said, the 9-year-old, the 9-year-old pretty much had to have got she must have something must have definitely led to that. She would have seen the things on how to murder somebody for her to be at she or he at 9 years to be killing somebody. And also it could also be from abuse because
right?
maybe the child has been getting abused, mental health things that the child just got to a point and said, you know what, I cannot deal with this anymore, as a way of escaping, killed. So
Mhm.
those are things that, sure, you use one hand to caution the child, but also you should use the other one to bring them closer to show love. Because when you have that resentment towards them, that happens. When a parent does not pay so much attention to their kids and you leave the kids on their own and you think using a phone is going to be the way to convince them
Money.
and mellow them down, well, all you're doing is just letting the internet feed them. And
Yeah.
if you don't even put parental control, then the kids are pretty much going to go from their normal basic thing that they were seeing, and then different ads and different things will be popping up. Like now, Seth, multiple things about guns pops up as an ad, pops up on the phones, pops up on Google. So as they are seeing those violence now, as young as they are, their brains are taking it as a sponge. So they are going to continuously soak all those bad things that will lead to crazy things. Cyberbullying is another thing because in there you will see pedophiles. They are on the internet at night too. So at that point in time now, they will pretty much be throwing various things at these kids, drawing the kids' attentions, telling them about various things that's going to lead the kids to even continuously do that. And when they are doing it now, due to lack of confidence, they will now start cyberbullying somebody else, or somebody else might be cyberbullying them. And then it creates problems. And the fact that they have that cell phone now in school, kids do a lot of dumb things by bullying one another, and then that bullying now goes past school time and follows down to the house because they are getting each other's numbers. And parents are supposed to know the friends that your kids have on a daily basis. When your kids come back, find out from them exactly what happened in school, but also check their phones, check the phones, check the internet, check all those things. Because a child as young as that, if you say the child is 16, okay, I'll say that's fine, or close to 16. That child is already getting to that age that they should know the difference between right and wrong. But a young child at the age of 12 is not going to know the difference between right and wrong. And if they're talking about safety, yeah, that's the reason why you're giving the phone. Well, there is apps, there is even wristwatch self that your child can wear that has a tracker. You can use that
Yeah.
to know exactly the location of where your child is at. And in that this thing app, you can very much have a button that is for 911 or for emergency, that when something happens, it will buzz on your phone and you'll be able to see it. That way, you
Yeah.
know, in case kidnappers decide they want to kidnap your child, you know exactly where your child is and you know everything that is going on. But
I
parents
agree.
need to be very, very cautious and know that, hey, you are handing this thing as a privilege to this child, or you're claiming safety, but at the same time, you should also be very, very observant and pay attention to the whole thing. Pay attention to the phones, the emails, the everything. Put parental control. Even my TV self,
Mm-hmm.
the
It
madam
has
has
time when it
already
goes
put
off.
exactly. It doesn't. It won't even go off. But to get into any app, we have to put a code. Even me, self, that wants to watch my regular show, even Netflix, self, has a code. The regular TV has a code. Everything now has parental code because my madam has turned my entire house into code machine. That now I even get irritated self when I'm typing in the code. I'll be like, what kind of nonsense is this? I'm trying to watch TV. I can't even watch because it has code. But she did that
for the safety, because my
Of the
kids,
children. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
because those kids, like, they
necessary.
literally nowadays they can literally go to the TV, they'll turn it on, and then they know how to maneuver their way through YouTube. They know how to maneuver their way through Netflix. They literally know how to control every single thing. That was why she puts the code. And even her phone self now, she changed her code on her phone because the kids are memorizing it and they know exactly how to. And she ensures that she takes the phone of the eldest one, makes him bring the phone. I don't know if she still continues, but she used to do that before, where she would make him bring it to the room and he would keep it in the room. And he doesn't touch it. After 10 o'clock, he cannot use his phone. So
Yeah.
that's the various precautions that a parent has to take. So if all those precautions are not there, well, just like the United States of America does, when the child commits a sin, they punish the parent too. Because at the end, the child couldn't have just started doing that without somebody giving them the opportunity now. So that's neglect. So at that point now, you too, the parent, you should get punished. So
Yep.
that way, common sense will tell you to realize and fix things. It's just how it is there. So that's my take home,
Okay.
my dear.
I'm already yarning. Whew, I'm exhausted. But yeah, thank you so much for that. So we have a comment, but before we go to the comment, I absolutely agree with you with everything you said. First of all, in our house, which I'm trying to really make sure we implement, but my husband says no. Um, I don't think TV should be in your bedroom, especially the kids. I don't think TV should be there. I know in our room he said no, there has to be a TV, so we have a TV. But I really don't think TV should be in the room or anywhere in the kids' room. Even though he put it there, I had the remotes. Like they cannot watch TV, just like that. Even on our TV, when they get there, if they want to watch something, it's a whole hassle. Because unless you know how to write and spell, good luck at it, and you know all the codes to get in. Have fun. You know they will come to me, mommy. I want to watch my show. No, did you finish this? Did you do that? You know, I let them watch TV in the living room and stuff like that. But I think I agree. Parents should be more responsible. And I think if safety is the issue, do you think them having full access to the internet, you're protecting them? Let
Of
that other
course not.
question ponder. Yeah.
That is definitely not protecting them, it's destroying them, because the internet now has so many things that a child shouldn't even be seeing. Even though
Right.
they
Right.
claim that now Instagram is gonna have a parental control, because now they are creating Instagram for teenagers and for youths. But at the end, kids will always figure out how to bypass it. The same
Or
way they
predators.
can put fake age there, and the fake age, if they can find a way to get fake ID to get into clubs and deceive the bouncers to get into 21 and over club, they can very much figure out how to trick the system to be able to give them adult content internet access. So all that one is the
Yeah.
parents just has to be more observant and pay attention to every single thing. Me, I can't even have TV in my room because Madam has told me that TV is not allowed, that the room is for sleeping.
I
Even though
agree.
this is my peaceful location, being in my room is where I like to just relax on my bed and watch my show in peace. Since the two living rooms has been taken over by all the kids, let me at least have a place to call my own in my room, my man cave. But it's not possible. So I don't even have my man cave. My entire house is
You should
run
be
over.
happy now.
Hmm?
She wants quality time because if TV there, you're distracted. I'm the TV.
Quality time in which island? In this same America, where have you seen quality time? People go to work. This one is working in the morning, the other one is working at night. So where's the quality time?
There's off days. You have to have one off day that you meet up and
I
you have
beg
to
you.
pass time together. But yeah, let's read this comment up here. So I think this comment was in reference when you made a statement about disciplining the US is not allowed and all that,
Oh, I
right?
know. I read the comments and I was like,
Yeah.
yep,
It's
somebody's speaking my language.
It's that iron sharpens iron, therefore a man sharpens the content of another man's character. In view of the topic under discussion, parents should be allowed to discipline their children in the way that they will not depart um, from the discipline. Remember, the Bible said, "Don't spare the rod and spoil the child." The use raw less to mark and bruises even by mistakes. I agree, but I think it is the way you understand that, right? In my understanding, the raw doesn't have to be where you're like beating someone like the way they beat Jesus Christ. You can spank them. That's what I was trying to say. You can spank them, but don't spank in a way where some people, I'm telling you, they will take the chair hitting. That's not correction. That's pure bullying and fear torture. Like you're not getting anything out of it. You're not teaching them anything. If anything, you're teaching them when you're angry with someone, this is what you use, in my opinion. We can have that conversation at another time. But for me, I just feel like you can discipline your kid and when how I understand this scripture, um when you're disciplining, you're supposed to be teaching and correcting. That's what that means. Like you're
Have you ever had
installing
your
things.
child talk back at you when you discipline them?
Yeah, my daughter,
Yeah,
like she does it all.
my daughter has literally told her mom, stop hitting me.
Yeah, and
And
that's a
after
correct.
when she knows that she did something wrong, she was like, stop hitting me because the mother hit her. I was just laughing. I was like, huh,
She's
okay.
smart. So here's the thing with that, right? So when my daughter tell me, no hitting, and then we have the conversation. No, I'm not hitting you, but I'm disciplining you. I'm whipping your butt because you did something wrong, and it's not hitting. It's for you to understand that I'm correcting you, and the reason you're getting spanked is because you did this. So don't do it again. And my daughter, we sit there and have that. She's 3, but we sit there. If you have sense enough to tell me, no, don't be me, then guess what? We're going to have that conversation. So we talked about it and say, hey, what are you supposed to be doing? You're not supposed to be doing that, because if you do it, the only way you're going to listen for it to get into your head, you're going to get spanked. So if you get spanked, it's not that I'm spanking you for you to feel like I'm beating you or hating on you. I'm spanking you so you understand that when you do the wrong thing, there are consequences for it. Some comes with pain and some comes with correction. Today, you're getting both. You're getting spanked because I've told you 5 times and you keep doing it. So I told you to stop. And literally, this is how I talk to this 3-year-old. And she'll sit there and be like, I'm sorry, mommy. And then I made her understand, you do not talk back to me. I'm the grown up. So when I tell you to do something,
Now, let's just
you do
what?
it.
Now, my own will even beat her teacher upset.
So
My own beat her teacher that the teacher just decided to send her home because teachers are not allowed to touch the kids. So I was just laughing. I
well,
was like, what kind
that's
of
not
nonsense
only
is
the thing
this?
that even get them right. Kids, you have to figure out there are certain things works on certain kids, certain things don't work. Like my son, if you like, you can spank him. He don't care. That don't hurt him. Please. But guess what? Tell him he can't play and put him in timeout.
He'll fix
Oh
himself.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he corrected real fast, right? And the same thing with my daughter. Certain things she wants to play with and do it. That's also not sparing the rod. The rod doesn't literally have to be like a beating, whipping stick. It could be whatever tools you use to discipline children. So that's how I feel. So me is sitting there and taking whatever from you that you're interested in and put you in a timeout and say you'll sit there, you can come out and talk to us, and you sit there crying. I just did not spare the role. That's a rule I just use. It could be, literal, or it could be figuratively speaking. So
Right.
that's why I said it just depends on how you understand this scripture and how you want to interpret it. I do stand for, I think kids should be disciplined because it helps them. They understand rules. So yeah, I agree with you. But I don't think, I feel like a lot of our African people just hear the word, oh, you can't discipline, but it's not true. Every state has their rules and stipulation of how you can discipline your children. And I think it's very beneficial when people read on it, right? And try to understand how your law works. It's not just you saying, well, I've heard parents, well, their kids will do whatever they're gonna do anyway. So because if you're driving, there's a chances that a car gonna hit you. So because of that, you're not gonna drive. You're just gonna sit home and not work. No.
Some people are like that.
Yeah. Or there's always problem everywhere, internet and da da da. So the kids will always get it from other people. No. You're supposed to do your part. You're the parents. God gave you these people to guide them to be individual like you and I. Because whatever you're doing with them, that's what you're creating for the next generation.
That is true.
Imagine, like I sometimes when I'm driving by, I don't mean to like judge people, but I'm looking and just like when I see, people that are like just indulging drugs and alcohol, I get it. Everybody has a story. But unfortunately, I'm sorry, my mind can't help but to start thinking like, what foundation did your parents lay for you when you were little? Like, what effort did they put? Some parents did, some parents did not. And like now, a lot of people are raising their children on phones, which is bad. And we're trying to figure out why we're getting so much results. It's because, yeah, bills got to pay. Yeah. How much is your bill so much that you can't even spend at least 2 to 3 days home? One of you got to always be home, at least. You got to be uncomfortable because you brought them into this world and you need to be sacrificing a whole lot. Nobody told you to go bring them. So if both of y'all can't figure it out, well, guess what? One of y'all need to be liability on the government. That's how I feel. I'm just saying. Like, I'm just saying. Like, if you can't, if the bills is too high, and it's like, well, I would choose my kids because they are what represent me if I leave this earth. God forbid, if I'm no longer here, when they walk around, oh, whose children are those? Yeah, that's Felicia children. Oh, that girl that was on the podcast. Yeah, that's her
Just
children.
having a foundation. As long as the foundation is steady, everything will move smooth. And as long as the parents stick to the same pattern and the same structure, everything will be fine. But if
Yeah.
the parent says they're gonna do this, and then at the end of the day they end up not doing it, then the child is not gonna believe that you're being serious. Because like
I
me,
agree.
if I want to caution my child, they know fully well when I pick up a belt and then I tell them when they see the belt, they pretty much know I'm not playing games with them. And then when I drag their hand and then I put them on one corner and they will cry, cry, cry. And I take my belt and I tell them, if you turn around, we're going to have a problem. Me, I'll be laughing, but they know fully well that they are on punishment. And I will leave them there until common sense hits their head. If you walk away from there, I will put you back there and the punishment is going to be longer.
Yeah.
So that's me, and my kids know that. I will be sweet with you, but at the same time, when I want to be serious, I'll be serious because I'm not going to deviate away because I don't want nuisance. I don't want my kids ending up in jail.
Yeah.
So if I have to start now by cautioning you, that is what I'll do. And
That's how it starts. And a lot of people, I think we said on here before, to be really honest, where your children really learn everything. And, it's not, some parents do their best. Let's just say that, right? But you can't say, well, I'm trying my best. No, keep trying. You know, from 0 to age 10 in this country, you need to be like hands on, and you need to be in everything, because shockingly, 3-year-old, the things they're telling, like my 3-year-old, I'm telling you, she can speak so clear. You'll think she's 7 years old. So she knows so much more than her brother. She knows a lot. So girls learn really fast and they absorb a lot of things. That's what I've learned and seen. So if we're going to give phones, like my daughter was saying, can I have a phone? Can I have a laptop? And I'm like, how old are you? 3. She'll say 3. And I said, what 3-year-old have you seen have a phone and a laptop? She's like, oh yeah, when I get big like you, I'll get a phone and a laptop. Yeah. Then she'll come back. She said, can I get the toy one? Yeah, you can get a toy one. At least now you're like doing critical thinking and distinguishing the difference between that, and not asking me for things you're not supposed to be asking me for. So we
Yeah.
have those conversations. Everything will not be rosy and perfect, but I feel like you need to be tough and you need to teach them everything, or else somebody else is going to teach them. And by the time you realize, it's late, because that poor 9-year-old don't even know what it means. What Jill? I don't even think she fully understand what Jill is, but she used her parents' gun to take down another child. That's trauma as a
Like, come on.
parent.
Please tell me the parents at least ended up going to jail too.
Well, I didn't really follow it. I'm going to check it out to see, but I just saw it on
Because
social
that
media.
makes no sense that
Yeah.
the gun will be at a position where a child could pick it up. That basically tells me negligence, because the gun should be in a gun safe to
Or
begin.
parents watching inappropriate stuff around their kids. I saw another story because I like these investigatory documentary stuff. I saw another kid, a teenager, 13-year-old, like literally doing, I don't know what type of WB, whatever, and literally smack his siblings down and kill them.
Oh, WWE wrestling.
Yeah. Like literally beat that child to death. What is happening? I really think that child should not go to jail. That child should go for help and in a place where they can, help him cook.
Mental Health Institute.
Yeah. And that parent need to serve a jail term. God forbid, if it's me, I should serve a jail term. Seriously.
Yeah,
That's
I
how I
think the parents
feel.
will end up serving the jail time, because at the end of the day, it's the parents' gun that the child picked, and they're going to
Yeah.
investigate where exactly was the gun left. How was it that this child was easily able to access that gun? What led to the child going? And the person that the child shot, was it somebody that was bullying the child, or what would lead the child to go and just kill somebody, or was it a misfire? And besides, how exactly was the gun loaded? Why was it loaded in the first place?
And how did they even know how to use it?
Exactly. Oh, well, how to use it. Nowadays, little kids are being taught how to use a gun. Yes. There's different things on the internet now that literally shows. There's one recent show that I was watching. It's a little girl that is literally 5 years old. She had a rubber kind of gun that had bullets in it, holstered around her waist. She was on a treadmill doing tactical moves. Yeah, she was literally doing tactical moves on a treadmill on how to position, how to fire it, how to duck to avoid getting shot. There are so many things happening on the internet now. So yeah, kids are being taught how to use it. And then all these cowboys and cowgirls that seem to buy huge plots of land, nowadays they literally teach their kids how to fire a gun because they go hunting. So there are a lot of things going on now. So about that firing one, trust me, anybody can find out those things on how to do it on the internet now.
I guess those Roblox games and all that. That's why you guys call me whatever. We never buy any toy gun things for anyone in our household. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Because me, I'm a military member, which basically means I could very much I can easily go get a gun to
Yeah.
have in my house. But the fear of even wanting to have a gun, I keep worrying that what if these children just magically decide now to pick it by
Yeah,
accident?
because they're
What am I gonna
curious.
do? Exactly. But then again, I also wonder, what about for my own safety going out there? Because the other time I was doing Uber, some nincompoop decided that he wanted to flick his middle finger at some black guys that were in the next vehicle, and then we were getting chased. Now, at that point, I didn't even know what to do. I just started driving, beating red lights, and ended up just speeding into where police was for my
Oh,
own
I'm
safety. But
putting
at
you
that point,
down.
huh?
I'm dropping you off.
Yeah, I was actually getting ready because when I stopped, I noticed the black guys coming out of their cars, ready to come and fight. But then I was like, I'm an Uber driver at that point. If I put these people here now, I know fully well they're going to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, one of them, the white guy, actually had a gun in his pocket, and he was telling me, I'll give you my gun for your protection. Hell no, I don't need your gun because I don't even know what you've done with that. For you to even have it
Right.
with you at that point, that
Then you
basically
touch
tells me
it.
that you're not using common sense. So all those things are, yes,
Oh,
you need a
Lord.
gun for safety, but then again, you also have to worry about what if it ends up going into the wrong hands. And nowadays,
But
that
they're
kids
safe,
are,
though. They're safe. You can lock it up.
yeah, there is safe that you can lock it up, but then again, you should also remember that some of these safes is just a key,
True.
and these kids can easily get your keys when you're sleeping or something, go and open the safe, and then you won't even know. So all those things are things that you have to take into consideration. If they want to even kill yourself, they don't even need a gun only. They can go and
Listen,
take
when
it out.
my kids reach teenager, we're moving back home. Sorry.
Yeah, so all those things are things that no matter
Mhm.
what, at that point, a parent really needs to be extremely careful. If possible, Seth, keep the gun in your car. Don't even let it be in the house for the safety, because you don't want a situation where anything, but when there's going to be a break-in, then yes, you do need a gun in your house.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of things that is just, it's a mixed thing, but if the child was able to get access to that gun that easily, then that means the parents do not do a proper job. And I've seen a lot of parents go to jail because of that.
True.
So
So
it's a back and forth thing. But in regards to that, this thing, social media and internet and stuff, yes, the parents do need to be punished for that, because no matter what, it's their negligence that leads their children to doing all that. If you brought those children into the world, which basically means you need to put in the efforts to ensure that you monitor what they are doing to help them grow the right way, because they are still young. They don't really know what they are doing. To them, it's just them having fun and them just browsing the internet and trying to know things. They're just curious. That's their curious mind kicking in at that point. So we as the parents are supposed to guide them. But then again, we too, sometimes we are at fault because of the things that we watch.
yeah.
We believe that, okay, we are adults, we want to do it. But when you have kids now, your entire life gets turned upside down. The things that you would like to do for yourself, you can no longer do it, because now you have to be thinking about the kids. You have to be watching children's cartoon that is boring like no man's business and can make somebody fall asleep. You have to be listening to lullabies that will make you fall asleep too, even though that's not what you really want. You won't be able to even watch your action movies and stuff like that. Or me, that I'm addicted to WWE. I know fully well that it's not even real. And that's another thing that they need to tell the kids. It is not real. But the thing that irritates me is a lot of parents, even when they watch that WWE, right? A lot of parents will go and be. I've seen so many things on the internet that shows the parents literally doing that exact move
with the
on
kids.
their kids on a bouncy castle, and they take it as a joke. So when you see all those things happening now, that is where these kids, when they see that, they'll feel like, okay, it's a normal thing. But they fail to understand that when those wrestlings are taking place, it's been taking place in a controlled environment. Outside of those rings are not controlled. And they will even tell you, do not try this at home, because the moves that are being performed there are controlled. They've practiced it. They are pretty much actors. They are movie actors. That's what they are. Acting a role. And that's not something to do on the outside. So the same thing with the internet. Everything that is on there is not always real. It's just things that people are using to make money. They are feeding you wrong things that is altering your mindset for them to be able to make money off of the contents that they present. The same thing with cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is just pointless. You cyberbully somebody else, but yet you are afraid to come and show your face just because you cannot say whatever you are saying on that cyber or you're typing in there. You can't say it to their face, so you do it over the internet. Or pedophile that decides that they want to enjoy little kids, this thing that will be trying to lure little kids. That's another reason why parents really need to pay attention, because there's so many crazy fools out there that are just using style to chat with your kids. And they will use that to draw your kids to Lord knows where. And that's how so many kids ends up getting kidnapped. And then the next thing you will see them putting Amber Alert, searching for the kids. But if the parents take the initiative to do the right thing of monitoring, you will catch all these crazy things when it happens. And do not give your kids a phone if they haven't gotten to the reasonable age.
What
And
is
even
a reasonable age?
the reasonable age can be maybe from the age of 14, but at the same time, at that point, and the reason why you would want to have that this thing is because the child is already in high school. If they're in high school, okay, you will give them a phone, but you will control it. That's just it. At that point, you should be able to be controlling, where you pretty much know you set a parental control in there that the kids cannot go to a certain website. You would also ensure that at least you can monitor, even if you're at work, you should be able to see if the child uses the phone. You should be able to lock it and stuff, preventing the child from using it. At least the good thing is now schools, like this school that my son goes to, it literally does not enable them to use the phone. If they get to school, they have to put their phones in their locker and they don't get to use that phone until after school.
Which
If
I
the
think
child by any
everywhere
chance,
should do.
you say what?
I think everywhere should do that.
Exactly. So that's what they do. And if the child is found using the phone in class, that child does not get that phone back. The school retains that phone. And the parents will have to now be the ones that will come and get the phone from the school. So those are things that since schools are doing that, if the parents can also take the initiative to implement something similar, the world will be a better place. The
Yeah,
amount
but
of juveniles that end up in jail will be less.
I agree. Because school gets a lot of hate and thing. Everybody say, well, we're not other schools. And then what do we tell people that will say, well, kids, they're mingle with other school at school, mingle with other kids at school. Some of them, we don't know how parenting works somewhere else and things like that. And they get to be with their friends. They're seeing these things, or the classroom they're in, there are things happening in there. Kids are doing this, different home, different training, different that. They will still be mingling with other people out there. I feel like if we make excuses for everything in the world, we will not live. Just because you think your child gonna be exposed to that, so it's okay for you to not take control of it, you should be punished. Because
Also, don't send them into this thing. Don't send them for sleepovers, because sleepovers is another place where all those things happen. That's where those kids learn it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
from interacting, because when they are so close, if you limit the amount of closeness that they're gonna have with the other kids, it would basically save your kids a lot, because sleepovers is where the other corrupted kids will now start teaching your kids how to do a lot of crazy things.
Or
How
you
to
don't even
go
know what
online
that
and get fine.
parent is doing.
Exactly.
You don't know who the creepy uncle is there.
There you go.
Showing you how to log in. You can log in. Oh, your parents don't let you do that. That's okay. You can log in this way. Showing you all the ways. Like, oh my God. Like, my husband said I'm way too protective. But to be honest with you, my kids would never have a sleepover. Ever. And nobody kids is allowed to even come to my house either. Because I mean they can come visit during the day, but not sleepover. I'm not hosting anybody's child to do sleepover, and my child is not going to anybody's house for sleepover. We can do a day hangout, a play day. I have to be there. Your parents need to be there, and we call it a day. But slumber party, oh, my friend having a birthday, let's go. No, we're not doing that. We're not. Because until you reach the age of 21, which is still my child, but now you can, I feel like that's where you reach understanding and reasoning. But I guess the kids these days, they do it fast.
If you're saying age of 21, you're wasting your time, because that will never happen. As soon as those children reach this thing, when they get to college, that's the end of it.
I know.
Yeah. Even if they do sleepover, they should be old enough. And that
I
sleepover
think,
is something that you should pretty much be able to still monitor.
yeah, but I feel like once you set that foundation for your children, when they reach a certain age, it's not even interesting anymore. Like,
Exactly.
because I remember when I college days, I don't care where I'm at. If it's 2 a.m., I'm driving and go home. I'm sleeping in my bed. I'm not sleeping in nobody's house. Even when I was dating and had a boyfriend, I'm not sleeping at your house. You're not allowed to sleep at my house. That's the funniest thing ever. They're like, why can I? This is my comfort zone. God forbid if you and I break up, I don't want to come in here and be thinking about how you and I was sitting over there eating and doing. No.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I was a tough girl on the dating market. Like somebody asked me, they were like, if you are still single, you are going to stay single till life. And I would be okay with it. I would really be okay with it because I like my lonely life anyways. But just to have someone like, even I would tell you the very first 5 years of our relationship, oh my gosh, how I miss my alone self.
As well.
Because I started thinking about how I used to be by myself. If I want to put my clothes right there, I can put it there. Or if how I set up my dining room table and everything in my house, how I set it up, it stays that way because that's how it's gonna be. How I do my bathroom, everything. Like I just be sitting there and reminiscing about the whole process of it. And then one day my sister was like, "You gotta snap out of it. Do you want a relationship or you want to go back to being lonely by yourself?"
Yep.
But I would say this was one of those best times because I got to know who Felicia is and, understand what I like and not like, but it's crazy. But yeah, let's try to close. It's almost 11 on my end. So I know we kind of like didn't really go in order. We said everything, almost everything. We talked about protecting your children and all of that. But I want us to go through some few scenarios, right? And see how we can answer this fast. So let's look at a child posts a violent threat online. Who fought?
Both parents and child, depending on how old the child is.
You think the parents should be charged? Like, let's just say we're focusing 12-year-old right now. A 12-year-old in the middle of the night because someone said your hair looked like this, so they came online and then started posting a lot of things online.
Well, the child will be the one to get punished in that scenario. But that punishment should come from the parent. The parent should be the one punishing the child for that.
I agree. At that point, your access to the internet is done.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're done until you can purchase your own internet.
You'll be on timeout grinding for your entire life until you get out of my house.
Yeah. A child cyberbullies a classmate for months. Should the parent be fined or should the school step in? I think the parent should be fined, and I think the school should step in because parents should be fined because how did that go for a whole month and you're not aware? How is your child causing someone else mental pain and you're not aware? You don't
But
go on the
even the
social media.
mental pain, the other parent that their child is being cyberbullied should have pretty much known about it, which
Right.
basically tells me that they are not that close to their child for them not to have realized that something was off. And then that parent should have contacted the other one's parent and had a conversation and addressed it earlier. It shouldn't have stayed up to a month. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it happens all the time. So these situations force us to ask, where does parenting stop and personal accountability counts? I don't think parenting stops at all. Once you're a parent, it's a lifetime sentence.
Yeah.
And I think working with schools and teacher and getting to know who the teacher, not just go there when they call for parent-teacher meeting. I think your kid's school, everybody should know who you are, which means pay a visit. Request to go pay a visit. Random visit to the school. I know my kids are going to be very tired of me because they're going to be like, yeah, we better behave because I do what my aunt did one time. Back in the day, how we used to be so embarrassed when your African parents wear that big African dress. Listen, Richmond, my aunt was the queen of that. Listen, I'm telling you, one afternoon we're going on a field trip. I see this woman with fufu and soup and a big thing of African dress with a head tie coming to be a chaperone on the field trip. My cousin almost opened the ground to go under there.
I would have dug it real quick and just dived in and covered myself and be like, please help me.
She made puff and then loud as they comes. And then she's in the hallway in there and she's like, yeah, I make that. And my cousin, we coming from the other side, she looking like, I said, oh my God. She said, oh my heaven, open the ground.
I would have just been turning the other way. I'll be like, I don't know that woman. I'd have run away real quick.
She always said that. She's like, I don't know her. That's not my mom. I was adopted.
Exactly. That would have been my answer too. I don't know her.
All the kids were saying, hey, that's your mom. We see your mom. She's so cool. Look at the colorful dress she's wearing. Colorful what?
That's embarrassing.
I made fun of them for the whole year. After that, when they got home, you are not allowed to come to our school anymore. I was like, who gave us the paper to sign up? Who did? Talking about, yeah, that's my niece, Felicia. I said, no, I don't know that woman. I don't know her.
Oh,
So
man.
pretty much, my kids will know if you don't want me to embarrass you out, please try me. I will do everything to embarrass you. So if you know what I know, you present yourself with respect, kindness. Like I'm teaching my daughter right now. Somebody push you. You're not going to be the first to push yourself. There's two different things between self-defense and being completely rude and out of character. I know she's 3 year old, and sometimes I remember on the playground, this lady asked me, "How old is she?" I said at that time she was 2. She's like, "She's 2?" You talk to her like that. But she understands. She understands. And I think when you start talking to them like adults, not in an adult way, but I mean like talk to them for them to start let their brain start spinning and start trying to figure out what does she mean, trying to get them to understand you don't push anyone. But if someone push you and there's no teacher around, they keep harassing you, you're going to self-defend yourself. You're going to push them, tell them, stop, don't touch me, you know, don't touch me. And then when a teacher comes, you're going to report it. And let me tell you a funny story. So my daughter, 3 weeks ago, she came home. She's like, ouch, my elbow hurt. So I said, what happened? She's like, well, I was at school and I'm telling you, this girl talks like she talk. So she's like, I was at school and she called the student name, grabbed my shirt and was trying to put me on the ground. And I look around, I didn't see anyone, and I told her stop, but she wouldn't stop. So I went like this, and then my elbow hit her head, and she fell down. And then she started crying. And the teacher came and I told her, I said, no, and she grabbed my shirt and tried to hurt me. So I pushed her away. If a 3-year-old can sit down and give you a story like that, what more about a 12-year-old? They got sense, please. You better pay attention. So, but anyways, those were the questions. Let's try to close because it's really, really super late. Sorry, you guys, I ended up coming on late again. I'm a mama and all that. So, should we differentiate, like punishment for children to the parents between 7 and 15 years old? What do you think?
What do you mean differentiate punishments to?
Meaning, of course, I mean, it's kind of obvious a 15-year-old do something, of course, a 15-year-old should serve it.
Of course.
But then also, where I'm kind of like iffy, let's just say they never had that parental control or understanding, or there was no one supervising them. How do you handle that?
If they had no one supervising them, well, they definitely have a parent in their life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, the parent, whether you like it or not, to some extent, the parent will still be punished.
Yeah,
Why? Because the embarrassment that the child brings punishes the parents as well.
true.
So one way or the other, they will feel the pain. So both people still get punished. Parents will always get punished because whatever thing their child commits, whatever sin their child commits, it comes back and fires back on the parents because now everybody else is going to be looking down on that parent, and that's going to pretty much be a punishment for the parent. And some parents actually end up going to jail due to what occurred with their child. So
Yeah.
they still get
I
punished.
think I agree. I think in certain situations, parents should be charged with neglect because you should be able to fully train and, groom your children to the way where, they understand what the rules of life is.
Mhm.
And if you're not, and you're not there, and you're like, I hear parents, I got my job to go to, and I'm like, what? What do you mean you got time for that? You got your work to go to. Rephrase that statement. So, because words have meaning and it goes to those children's head. Well, my mom ain't got no time for me, so why can't I do what I want to do? So, But anyways, as we close, I want us to kind of like, I know I say yes on a lot of these things, but as we have this conversation, I'm kind of leaning to a mixed answer because it depends on the circumstances and what's happening. I do feel like emotionally, physically, women, parents are punished, but when it comes to the law and things like that, I think it depends on the extreme situation that parents should be punished, like by the law. I really feel like they should be punished by the law, and then that way they will learn to help, the other kids that are left with them. So, um, I guess mandatory. I think there should be a safety law when it comes to every state. I think there should be a mandatory data safety classes for parents and kids, especially when your kids reach to that middle school level. I think it should be like literally required by each state, in my opinion. I think school teaching online responsibility, they should do that early. School and parents should be in like some type of communication on a constant basis, which I now that I'm entering into the school system, I feel like the school has it. They have all these great ways to communicate, but some parents just don't have time and they don't check it or just don't make time for it because we all have 24 hours, 7 days a week. you know. I think parents should be required to set parental control. If your kids are going to go online, I think it should be a rule, a law that every parent should be required to have mandatory parental control on every devices and any access to internet or whatsoever. I also feel like holding parents accountable in only extreme cases, like I said, and repeated negligence, I think parents should face the law. Like you should face the law. If that's something like the whole month thing that we discussed earlier, those questions, yeah, parents should face the law. With that being said, let's get to the closing statement from Richmond and we'll close it out. This is late.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my closing statement, well, I am kind of in between. As said, yes, it depends on the circumstances, but whether we like it or not, parents always get punished for everything because the punishment will either come as a embarrassment or it will come as an actual punishment. And sometimes parents also get fined for what their kids do. So either way, the parents will always get punished, no matter how much they try to escape it. But we as parents, we need to be very, very observant. We should be conscious. We should ensure that we put parental controls on every single thing. We should monitor it because that's why we are put there. God put us there for us to raise these kids up in the right way. So, excuse me. So it's our job for us to actually do it by actually taking initiative, monitoring it, parental controlling things, ensuring that we lead these children in the right path. Discipline them, but discipline them in a right way. It's not just discipline them without telling them what exactly was the reason behind it and what direction. We should also be willing to show them the correct way to do things because that's how they grow. And it's not just tell them once and expect that they're going to remember. No. Their memory does not automatically retain it like that, but repetition will cause it to go into their long-term memory, which will cause them to remember. It will be like a minor hint to help them. So, parents, yes, just know this. You will always get punished because if your child embarrasses you, well, you yourself, the embarrassment will show all over your face because they will destroy you from head to toe, and every other parent will look at you as a nobody. They will look down on you. So if you don't want that embarrassment, do the right thing. Raise your children up the right way. Do not let your children go to sleepovers because that is part of where
they get all this their nonsense cyberbullying things that happens because you don't know how other parents are, especially our Igbo parents that don't know how to discipline their children the right way. They will leave their children to up to the extent I've even seen kids literally slap their parents and disrespect their parents from head to toe. It scares the living daylight out of me to even see that, because if my child tries that, I'm sorry, but you'll be 6 feet under. Because I will not accept that nonsense anywhere, not in this world. I brought you into this world, I will take you out of it too. That's just how things are.
That's a threat.
No, it can be good. Look, at least, like I said, it is my opinion that I know fully well my children will not even do that nonsense, because I will
Yeah.
not even let it in the first place get to that point. But as said, different parents, different rules, different ways of raising their kids. But me, I know exactly how mine is going to be raised, because I will not let nonsense happen. And my kids have already started seeing it, because common timeouts that I put them on, they will cry from now till thy kingdom come. It does not bother me, because it's not taking anything out of my skin, because my mindset is completely different. I'm a military bred person that my punishment growing up used to be frog jump. If my sister did anything wrong, I'm the one that gets the punishment. So as a result, my brain was rewired that emotions does not get involved when I'm punishing a child, because
True.
I make sure that that child understands exactly how things needs to be, and it works out perfectly well. Because if they want to do anything with their mother, they can go and do it. But when it comes to me, just me talking in low voice, my children already understand and they respect themselves. Even my son self, my as little as he is, that just turned 3. When I told him that, hey, it's phone going off time, you've had your phone for too long, he said okay, and he gave the phone, because he knows exactly that if you don't give it, I will take it, and when I take it, you will not see it. When they were misbehaving and I told them no tablet, and they were misbehaving, I took the tablet. Up till now, they haven't seen the tablet again, because I will take what you love. That's just me. If I know exactly what you love, I'll take it away. And you can cry from now till I cannot come. It will not take a single hair out of my body. So
I
that's
agree.
the thing, because I don't want them to be to embarrass me.
Yeah.
If I don't want to embarrass them, I don't want them to embarrass me. So we both should understand ourselves. That's just how life is. And a lot of times we wonder how the children ends up going bad, or how all these things happen. Cyberbullying and all those things. It also comes down to when two parents are not involved in taking care of the child.
Yeah.
If a parent decides that one should take care of it, well, it's a team effort to take care of those children. If one is going to work during the day, the other one can go to work at night. But make sure that there is parents that is helping to monitor those kids on a daily basis. By 9, 10 o'clock, phone is no more. Internet, if possible, go into your app, shut down every single form of internet, phone calls, and all that. Shut it down. And if possible, put an app or something that will track that when your child is on the phone,
Oh
if
yeah.
the caller ID is not recognizable, then you can very much listen to it and you will know exactly what kind of conversation. In case there's a creep that is somewhere there chit-chatting with your child, trying to convince them, be careful. Even if you go to the park too, don't just go and carry phone and be giving your children, because you are just brainwashing them by doing all that. Tablets and all that.
Distraction.
Don't let society be the one to train your children for you. You train them up. If not, then please do yourself a favor. Send the children back to Africa. Africa will train them. Your community will train them very well for you. If that's the best way to do things. Because this
I'm
America.
sending my kids to Africa by themselves. We are going.
No, that's yeah, you will go there, but you can go and keep them with grandma and grandpa. At the end of the day,
Right.
they will realize the privilege that they have. Because if America is going to spoil our children for us, then they don't need to be here. Let's
I
send them back to
agree. I
Africa where
really
they'll be raised
agree.
the proper way. Because in Africa, phones and all these things, it will not be there. It's America here that is making everybody be
We
using phones
phone
and all
is
those
there,
things.
but there's other things there too. So either way, there's always things everywhere. But I know I get where
Yeah,
you're going with it though.
exactly. So that's the basic idea. But like I said, disclaimer:
That is my own opinion. It's just my own way of doing things because me, I know exactly how I grew up. Even though I grew up with a single family home, but I know those punishments that I was receiving, all those frog jump, pig pin, all those African punishments, it made me a responsible human being today. So if I'm not an embarrassment to my parents, my children will not be an embarrassment to me. It's just how life is. So it's just how we are structured. So, my dear, that is my take on it. So I wish you guys all the best, and I hope that you learned something great on what to do and how to step up and do the right thing. But let's raise our children the right way. For me, I don't mind children coming to my house for sleepover. The reason why is because at least I know where my own children are. So that way, I will know how to monitor what is happening because I don't want to seclude my children that they don't have friends. You can have friends, but I will monitor those friends as well. Because if you're under my roof, then you have to abide by this thing. You have to abide by my rules, which basically means I would know exactly when things are going south. You can call your mommy and daddy, but even if you're in my house at a certain time, your phones go off too. It's either you accept my rules or you can go back to your own, because I will even help you take you back to your parents' house and tell them, sorry, I have rules. By this time, phones all off. If they cannot abide it, then here's your children. That's simple. If you want me to help them, I will help you train them too. So that's life.
Right. Got you. No, you give a lot of wisdom tonight, and I hope everybody that's watching pay attention and learn a lot. This topic is it's kind of sensitive and kind of touchy too for a lot of people. Um, because some people be like, well, I don't have any other way to do this but this way. But I think if you guys heard anything, Richmond gave you guys a lot of ideas on what to do. So I don't even have much to add other than, I think parents or women and men in general, when you're deciding to have children or when you're some kids just pop up when those surprises happen and you find out, like my son was a surprise son. I had no idea until I was like, oh, I fell down at the gym. They were like, I go to the doctor next day, they're like, you pregnant? I'm like, pregnant? What are you talking about? But anyways, once you get that message, I feel like pregnancy confirmation for women is two different feelings. Sometimes it's mixed feeling. Sometimes is, sometimes women get into depression. And I will tell you, I got into depression when I find out that I was pregnant with my son. Not that I wasn't happy about that, because my life was to the level where I felt like I could take care of a kid, but it was just that sense of lost because we all want to plan when we want things to happen and all that. And if it's like you're left with no choice, and then now you're like, well, ain't no turning back. You here already. So I feel like instead of you thinking about all these things that you see on social media about, oh, my baby's gonna be there, da, 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 you gotta start thinking about protection mode. I think that's the first thing every parent should start thinking about. Don't think about the years that you have, then you're going to be there and all that. You can think about that. But I feel like in those 0 to 3 years, you're going to be there, with them. Some people take their kids to daycare as early as 6 months, right? So whichever way, they're going to be part of somebody else's life at some point, and you have to start figuring out, how do I get my child equipped enough for this world that we're in? And part of that is, how do they represent me? Because you hear men and women online, my kids are my legacy. Well, your kids definitely are the reflection of who you are and what you stand for. And this is no judgment zone or whatsoever, but a call to action. Stop training your kids over the phone. Stop that, because you open the door for so many things. They might not be on the internet doing that, but somebody will be doing the training for them, and who knows what's going to end up happening. So should parents be punished for school age children or behavior? I'm asking everybody, if you come across this, drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know your thought. I say it's mixed feeling. I have mixed feeling. At the end of the day, parenting doesn't stop at school or the door or the internet. Logging screen, it doesn't end there, but children also need a space to learn, right? Growing and making mistakes without their parents facing jail time or huge fines. So the real question is, how do we protect kids while being fair to family, right? This kind of like, children will live, they will go into the world, they'll do everything, right? But still play that role. Be present, have conversation, ask your kid, like, what did you do with your hands today? What did you do at school today? Because if you start the question, how are you, is good, and that's it. But what did you do with your hands? They start to think, oh, I drew, I paint, somebody hit me, I slapped them. You start to find out a whole lot of questions answered through just what did you do with your hands today? So with that being said, I know it's hard. We live in a world where things are getting harder and harder, and it's not going to get easier. But all we can do is play our part and play our role. So this topic is not to bash parents. We sitting over here, we're parents, and we're seeing, we're learning. It's easier said than done, and saying, oh, parents should do that and do that. And that's why it has to be baby steps. Take control of your children. Please learn about your state rules and laws, how it works. Don't sit there and say, well, I can't beat them, I can't do this because they will call the police on me. Call the police. The police will investigate. If your hands are clean and everything, why are you afraid? Your kids can be spanked. I said it. You can spank your kids, but there's stipulation. You cannot do it when you're angry. It's kind of like you can't talk back to your husband while you're angry, because you're going to say things you don't mean. You're not spanking him, but you're using words. And words, once it's gone, is gone. It's the same thing when you're angry. Control your anger. If putting them in timeout before that so you can cool off a little bit, cool off. Because all you're teaching is how to react to a situation. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for a good weekend. I know it was late on here and there, but again, sorry. But I'm a mom first and got to get those little ones in bed to be ready for school in the morning before I come here. I don't like them running around when I'm here because it's distracting. And I want you guys to have my full undivided attention. Thank you so much, Richmond. It's been a really good night hanging out with you again. Thank you to George, our audience. It looks like George and a few people are tuning in tonight. I know this topic is going to go out there. You guys are going to watch it, share it, invite your friends and family. And if we said something that you're offended, I guess, sorry, not sorry, but that's how we feel about the topic. Just saying. Over here, we speak the truth, how we feel. It's opinionated. And we're not here to reinvent the wheels to tell you how to live your life, but to just share things from our perspective of how we view the world in general. And tonight was one of those nights where we were very candid and speaking our mind. So with that being said, thank you guys. Have a great night and a restful night for another working week.
Yep.
Richmond, that's it for the people. Y'all,
Yeah.
good night. Y'all
Good night.
sleep tight.